Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 17th of July 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Friday Night Smackdown. I said okay, I have a question for you guys here in the live chat here on Twitch, twitch.tv/PWUnlimited. So, when I'm referencing a show, like a weekly show, Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Dynamite, I always say on SmackDown, on Dynamite. But when I'm referencing a pay-per-view or a big show like at Fyter Fest or at Extreme Rules, excuse me, which do you guys feel is the more acceptable, maybe not the word, but right term to use? Can we use on for all of it? Can we use at for all of it? Or does it sound weird to you guys as well to say at SmackDown or on Extreme Rules? Like on Extreme Rules, on Fight for the Fallen doesn't sound as bad. But when I'm saying at Friday Night SmackDown, it just doesn't seem right. At for me seems like a destination, a special event. On is that weekly show. I just want to know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know your thoughts as well. I know I'm rambling here and this is nothing to do with anything, but hey, it's something that I always think about for some reason. I think about some weird ass shit, and well, that's one of it. But with that, we've got SmackDown to talk about tonight. We've got some of you already here on the live chat. Remember, we're here on twitch.tv/PWUnlimited. If you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Let's see if it works for the live chat here on Twitch. Nope, it's still not working. I usually can put the little code in and it goes. I'm going to have to look into that. But anyways, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Little housekeeping just to remind you guys, tomorrow night, following Impact Wrestling Slammiversary, we will be live right here on Twitch to talk about everything that's going down on that show. That show, from what I'm hearing, is supposed to be really good as far as they're cranking out all the stops. They're putting everything they've got into this one show tomorrow night to try and make this a quote-unquote can't-miss event or event that gets widely talked about afterwards. Again, with that, we will also be live on a Sunday night following the horror show at Extreme Rules pay-per-view on the WWE Network. Also with Slammiversary, you can order that either on pay-per-view or on Fight TV. So with that, we will be live both nights this weekend. Not sure exactly which time because, you know, we got to go live once the pay-per-view does end. I believe tomorrow's should be around the same time as tonight, maybe, if the show goes as long as I think it's going to go. And then Sunday for Extreme Rules, I don't know because I heard some of those matches might go long. And so I have no clue when that show is going to end. But we will be live right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pro Wrestling Unlimited all weekend, tomorrow night, Sunday night. And then we start it all over again with Monday and Monday Night Raw. But we're here to talk about SmackDown, Friday Night Smackdown. Tonight's Friday Night Smackdown I thought was an alright show. A little disappointing at times, to be completely honest. So SmackDown kicked off in an interesting way. A new kind of opening. They did the regular, "Are you ready? Ding, ding, are you ready?" little intro video. But they also showed a bunch of people kicking it off with AJ, talking about tonight's festivities. AJ Styles promised to retain his title against Matt Riddle and avenge his loss from a few weeks ago. He noted that Riddle had the element of surprise, but not this time. Riddle was then shown and talked about the match as well and vowed to win the title. Daniel Bryan was then seen from, I guess, his yard at home or something, and noted that Riddle and Styles, their match is going to be a classic. Alexa Bliss then promised to have a major surprise tonight on A Moment of Bliss. They then show
I'm not sure.
And a run-in by my Amazon Alexa. They then showed The Miz and Morrison They discussed Morrison's match with Braun Strowman later on tonight. Miz kept asking Morrison if he was scared. Miz and Morrison did some comedy that really didn't fit the tone of the previous interviews. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura revealed that they have a tag team title matches coming Sunday at Extreme Rules, but we don't know what the stipulation is just quite yet. New Day then promised to defeat Cesaro and Nakamura and get to pick the stipulation for the title match on Sunday. The New Day then did their regular entrance, and they came down to the ring for the first match of the night, which was Cesaro versus Big E. Basically, the stipulation was, whoever wins the match, whether that's Cesaro or Big E, their team gets to pick the stipulation for Sunday's title match. And here's the weird thing. Michael Cole goes, earlier this summer, we let the fans, or we, along with Snickers, let the fans vote for what they wanted the stipulation to be in this match, this title match at Extreme Rules, whether that's a steel cage or a tables match. And I go, let the fans vote for what? When, huh? So the match goes on, and Michael Cole and Corey Graves don't know what's going on minute to minute, basically, unless they're seeing it in the ring. Because when they showed the graphic of the fan vote that tied, and that's why we need this tiebreaker match tonight, it showed the New Day's pick was steel cage. Cesaro and Nakamura's pick was tables. So who do you want to get their stipulation? The match itself wasn't bad, though. Cesaro had the early advantage and slowed the pace down with a chinlock. Big E fought back and caught Cesaro with a massive belly-to-belly suplex. He followed it up with a splash on the apron. Back from the break, Big E attempted a spear through the ropes, but Cesaro rocked him with a boot. Cesaro followed this up with a middle rope springboard uppercut for a close near fall. Cesaro fought out of a submission and did the big swing into a sharpshooter. Big E powered out of the sharpshooter and attempted the big ending. Cesaro grabbed the top rope and the referee had to move out of the way. With the referee moving out of the way, Nakamura was able to jump on the apron and rock Big E with a forearm. Cesaro then hit him with a neutralizer and picked up the victory. And then Michael Cole goes, Cesaro and Nakamura win, they get to pick the stipulation. What do you think it's gonna be? Will it be either a steel cage or a tables match? And I go, well, we know it's a tables match, because, you showed us earlier that that's their pick, you dumb son of a gun. No, I didn't. And then Corey says something about tables, and Michael Cole goes, well, we're going to have to wait till later to find out what they actually pick for their stipulation. I have no clue what it's going to be. And I'm just like, tables match, dummy. I don't know. So back from the break, Cesaro and Nakamura were in the back. Wait. I think I missed something here. Yes, I did. Before the break, after the match ended, the heels jumped Big E, and they pulled the table off from under the ring. Kingston hit a dive, taking out the heels. The New Day placed Cesaro on the table, and Nakamura made the save. I missed two things. So, in the back, Kayla Braxton, who is back from having COVID-19, coronavirus, she's tested negative. That's great to see. She interviewed King Corbin. She asked Corbin who he thinks is going to win tonight between AJ and Riddle. And he said that Riddle doesn't deserve to even have the match, and that Riddle will be losing and AJ will be winning. Then we see Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. They tried to decide which stipulation they should pick. Nakamura said, well, a cage match, that's barbaric. That's sadistic or something like that. And Cesaro goes, yeah, but I see the New Day gyrating and dancing on the cage, and I don't really like that. But what I do like is putting them through tables, so we're going to pick a tables match. And I'm like, no shit, you're going to pick a tables match. So next up, we got Alexa Bliss for a moment of bliss, who she said she was supposed to have a legendary marquee freaking guest. And she didn't. So her and Nikki Cross are out there. Nikki's all enthused, and they're making fun of Nikki for having too much caffeine. And Bliss starts talking about how, this is the 5th year anniversary this week of the Women's Evolution. Bliss made a few predictions, including the Lakers winning the championship. Yeah, we'll see. Even though I'm a Lakers fan, I don't have much confidence. She said Riddle will defeat AJ, and her close friend Braun Strowman will defeat Bray Wyatt in the swamp fight. Bliss was about to introduce her guest when, well, Cross interrupted. Cross assumed that she was the mystery guest and started ranting. She promised to defeat Bayley on Sunday at Extreme Rules with the women's title on the line. Bliss then said, Nikki, I'm sorry, but you're not the guest. Cross was a little upset about that, and then they were interrupted by Bayley and Sasha Banks. So Bayley and Sasha made their way down to the ring, and they said that they're the architects of the women's evolution. Without them, there would be no women's evolution. Bayley then predicted that she would defeat Cross on Sunday, and Banks would defeat Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship as well. Banks mocked Bliss and Cross. Bliss said that was great, but nobody was here for them. They're here for the upcoming double champs. And then Alexa was like, whoa. You two need to calm down. You guys interrupted me before, well, I can even say who my actual guest is. This is my guest. And then, well, out would come the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. And I go, wow, way to clickbait us. Way to get us to watch the show thinking you're going to have some legend, have some big special guest. Nope, it's just Asuka who we see every Monday. Well, Asuka comes down to the ring. Bayley and Banks freaked out and jumped Bliss and Cross. Asuka then jumped in and made the save. Bliss grabbed a microphone and demanded a referee because, people in WWE, they just make whatever matches they want, like Alexa Bliss and an MVP. She said, you guys want to fight? You can have a fight tonight against, well, your opponents this Sunday. I thought the segment itself was pretty good. Thought all five women, technically, even though Asuka really didn't do much in the segment, did their stuff very well. And it led to a pretty good tag team match. Before the match started, though, in the back, Matt Riddle and Drew Gulak were sparring, kind of preparing for Riddle's upcoming title match. We then got Raw Women's Champion Asuka and Nikki Cross taking on the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, and Sasha Banks. Like I said, I thought this was actually a pretty good tag match. The heels isolated Cross in their corner to gain control early. Cross fought back and used an inside cradle for a near fall. Bayley regained control and used a chin lock to slow the pace down. Asuka got the hot tag and ran wild on Bayley. The heels tried to double team Asuka, but she took them both down. Asuka used a hip attack to knock Bayley off the apron. Banks attempted a sliding drop kick to the floor, but Asuka caught her in the ring skirt. Asuka and Cross beat down Banks and took control. The faces then caught Bayley in the apron ring skirt as well and beat her down. Cross caught Bayley with a crossbody off the apron. The faces jumped on the announce table and started dancing when Corey Graves said, you know what, Michael Cole, I'm going to start asking for hazard pay because too much stuff goes down on this announce table. And you're not wrong. That announce table is always cluttered with something on SmackDown. Back from the break, the heels regained control. We didn't see how they regained control, but they did, and they kept Asuka on their side of the ring. Banks slowed down the pace with a chin lock. Asuka fought back and tagged in Cross. Cross hit a splash in the corner and followed it up with a running bulldog for a near fall. Cross missed a crossbody, and Banks hit a basement dropkick for a near fall. Bayley climbed to the top, but Cross cut her off. Bayley sent Cross to the floor, but Cross recovered and hit a tornado DDT off the announce table. In the ring, Bayley tripped up Cross and used the ropes to pin Cross. She had to use that leverage. Bayley once again pinned Nikki Cross, but had to cheat to win. And Michael Cole did point that out. So in the back, The Miz tried to convince John Morrison, don't be scared of Braun Strowman. You're an action movie star. And the star always eventually takes down the villain, the big monster. And he's like, well, you want to take my place? And Miz was like, no. You got this. So then we got the Firefly Fun House. The opening theme began, but then cut out, and a cartoon swamp briefly appeared before the Eater of Worlds version of Bray Wyatt appeared in the real swamp. Now remember, according to WrestleVotes, the swamp fight was filmed last night, so I assume this that aired tonight was also filmed then as well. Now Wyatt talked about his past association with Braun Strowman. He said he created Strowman, but then Strowman left. At Extreme Rules, a part of Strowman will live at the swamp forever. Wyatt knows that Strowman, or that the real Strowman, is still inside of him. Wyatt noted that Strowman didn't embrace the monster he wanted to be. Instead, Wyatt has to destroy the monster he has become. I thought this was a really good promo. I love how he said, Braun, excuse me, he basically said, I curated and cultivated Braun into be a monster in the Wyatt family. But then some way, somehow, he got pulled away from us, which was the 2016 draft. And because he got pulled away from us, he wasn't under my tutelage. He wasn't under my training, and became something that he wasn't supposed to become. So basically what Bray states is, now on Sunday, we're going back to the swamp, where the Braun Strowman that I created once lived, and hopefully I can take out this Braun Strowman and put the old Braun Strowman, the original Braun Strowman, back in him. Basically, he's saying he's going to do some voodoo shit. Next up, we got a non-title match. Speaking of Braun Strowman, it was Braun Strowman versus Jomo, John Morrison. Before the match, Strowman noted that he has gone home, or has to go home, to the swamp to face his fears. He has to destroy Wyatt before Wyatt destroys him. So I like that Strowman realizes that, hey, Braun can do some crazy shit, and so I got to get the upper hand before he does. So I like that, and not just Strowman coming down and saying, oh, we're going to go to the swamp and I'm going to whoop his ass. I like that Braun did give a slight hint of, Bray's just crazy enough where if I don't do something, he could beat me if I don't do anything right. Strowman picked up Morrison from the mat. Strowman noted that he isn't going to let Wyatt turn into the Fiend during this match. So basically, we got a squash match. This is what John Morrison came back to WWE for. Strowman completely dominated Morrison and beat him down around the ring. At one point, Strowman picked up Morrison from the mat and slammed him right back down. Strowman hit a running power slam, and then, quick victory. Cool. After the match, Strowman grabbed the mic again and promised to go home. Strowman laughed and then walked off. Morrison refused medical attention, but needed Miz's help to the back, and then Lacey Evans made her way down to the ring as Miz helped Morrison out. So next up, they recapped the karaoke showdown from last week's Friday Night Smackdown, where it ended with Naomi winning and Lacey Evans jumping Naomi. So here's my question. Have they done all that they've done to build Lacey Evans up as a babyface and really get people to like her as a babyface just to turn her randomly last week? Like, they did a lot of work to be like, this is the new Lacey Evans. This is the babyface Lacey Evans. This is the Lacey Evans she should have always been. To just randomly, oh, she's heel again. And no subtle teases of it. No kind of I'm tired of being disrespected kind of deal. No, this is why I should turn. No, just, oh, I lost because the fans voted for Naomi. Okay, I'll whip her ass and turn heel. Because she cut a heelish promo at the beginning of this as well. But as far as the match does go, it's kind of kept short. Naomi tossed Evans into the corner. Naomi slid on her knee and slapped Evans in the face. Evans took over and hit a springboard elbow for a near fall. Evans attempted a bottom rope moonsault, but Naomi got her knees up. Naomi hit a series of kicks, but Evans caught the leg. Evans missed the woman's right, and Naomi rocked her with a kick. Evans then ended up on the apron and tied up Naomi's hair in the ropes. Naomi did break free, but Evans rocked her with the woman's right because it took her so long to get her hair out from being tangled up that it gave Lacey time to posture herself, set it up, pop her right in the face. So Lacey Evans does pick up that victory. We go to the back with Kayla Braxton. Kayla's there with Jeff Hardy, and Braxton wondered why Hardy accepted the challenge for the barroom brawl. His sobriety would be at risk fighting in a bar. And so my thought was, are they finally going to announce this for Sunday? And Hardy said, Sheamus is a bully, and he's kind of like sobriety. You can't just walk away from it. It's always going to be there, and you have to face it head on. He said that he knows the risk of walking into a bar, and to get past that, he needs to get past Sheamus. Hardy then noted that Sheamus framed him so he couldn't compete in the Intercontinental Championship title tournament. Suddenly, Hardy was hit with a bro kick from behind. And actually, I think before this, he was also asked who he thought would win the title tonight, and I think he said Riddle. But Sheamus would attack him. So good to see Sheamus is back. But then, Sheamus would grab a mic and say that he's ready to fight Jeff Hardy and that he would see him next week. Not Sunday at the pay-per-view, but next week, which means next week on Smackdown. So that's an interesting move that they're doing a bar fight, but on Smackdown. One would assume if they're doing something special like that, it would be at the pay-per-view. Where I guess we all just assumed it would be at the pay-per-view because they never actually said it would. So I guess that's on us for assuming. I don't know. After a break, Kayla Braxton again. They really got their money's worth of Kayla Braxton coming back tonight. But Braxton interviewed Bayley and Sasha Banks. Braxton wondered if their momentum will continue. Bayley promised that Banks would pin Asuka, and then she mocked Cross and laughed that she has all the momentum and Cross has none. Cross and Alexa Bliss were watching the interview on TV when they realized, hey, they're actually about 10 feet away from us. Cross noted that she's lost the last 2 weeks. She may be losing her confidence. She would then run and attack both Bayley and Sasha Banks, knocking Bayley down. Cross snapped, jumped on top of Bayley, and then the segment just ended. Cool. Mike Cole and Corey Graves discussed the 5th anniversary of the Women's Evolution. They stated that it started as the Divas Revolution, but grew and evolved into the Women's Evolution. We then got our main event with about, I want to say, 25-ish, 25 minutes left in the show. Riddle and Styles had a pretty good match, but I felt like it could have been better. I felt like the match got to second gear, was about to shift into third, and then just ended. So they worked a fast-paced early on and told a good story. And Riddle looked really good, and they kept putting over how great Riddle looked throughout the entire match. And that basically was like, oh yeah, they got to tell us Riddle looks good because he's losing. So they lock up, and Riddle backs Styles into the corner. Riddle then had a waist lock, but Styles broke free. Riddle took over with some rolling gut-wrench suplexes and a springboard knee, which rocked Styles off the apron. Styles was upset and banged the announce table. Riddle mocked him. Riddle then rocked Styles with a jumping knee. After a commercial break, Riddle was firmly in control and hit a series of knees. On commentary, Corey and Cole pushed that Riddle is dominating Styles. Riddle used a fisherman suplex for a close near fall at one point. Styles then dropped Riddle on the top to gain control. Styles attacked Riddle's leg and worked it over. Styles slowed the pace down with a chin lock. Riddle recovered and hit a running forearm in the corner. He then followed this up with a suplex. Riddle missed the standing moonsault and landed on his feet. Riddle then hit the bro to sleep and transitioned it into a powerbomb and then hit a jumping knee. Back from the break, Styles rocked Riddle with a clothesline to regain control. Riddle fought back with vicious chops, but Styles went for the leg. Riddle recovered quickly and caught Styles with a German suplex. Styles fought back and attempted to rock Riddle with a super kick. Styles attempted the Styles Clash, but Riddle blocked it. Styles attempted a suplex, but Riddle escaped and hit the final flash. Riddle attempted the floating bro, but Styles moved out of the way, and Riddle crashed to the mat. Styles attempted the Styles Clash, but Riddle broke free. Styles then hit a vicious-looking brainbuster for a near fall. Styles attempted the phenomenal forearm, but Riddle caught him and attempted the bro Derek. Styles broke free of it, though, but Riddle hit the senton. Riddle and Styles traded shots in the middle of the ring. Riddle attempted a Pele kick, but Styles locked on the calf crusher. Riddle countered into a bro mission, but then Styles countered and rolled up Riddle for the victory. Flash win. They can say, hey, Riddle got caught. Yes, he got pinned clean in the middle, but he dominated portions of this match. And they kept saying after the match, too, he looked good. He looked good. He looked good. He just got caught by AJ Styles. So the two men get to their feet. They stare each other down. And then, they shake hands in respect. As they're shaking hands, though, Corbin would jump into the ring and attack Matt Riddle. Corbin would beat him down, hit him with the end of days, and walk out of the ring as the show went off the air. So with that was Friday Night Smackdown. The show was okay. It had some good points. It had some low points. And if I had to rate the show, I'd give it a 7. I'd go 7. Because I really did like the main event, even though I thought it could have been better. And I did like the women's tag match as well. So for that per se, I think I'd go 7. Now, I do have some text messages here to read, but I'm not going to read them just quite yet. If you guys want to be part of the show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. Now, before we get into the text messages and your guys' thoughts on the show, we've got Extreme Rules coming up this weekend. We got to talk about some predictions. So this weekend is the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, or should I say, the Horror Show at Extreme Rules. Live on the WWE Network. We do so far have 7 matches currently announced for this. Can you still call it a pay-per-view, or is it just a special event, a network special? With that, we've got 7 matches with new match being announced tonight. So I'm going to give you my predictions on who I think is going to come out victorious. So first off, announced tonight, we do know that the Smackdown tag team titles will be on the line when the New Day defends against Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. I want Shinsuke and Cesaro to win, but I also think the New Day is going to come out victorious. I just do. In another title match, with the United States Championship on the line, Apollo Crews will be defending against MVP. Now, here's the thing. This is one of 3 matches that will not have a stipulation, or so far does not have a stipulation. And I thought Extreme Rules meant every match has a stip. Whether that's Falls Count Anywhere, whether that's no disqualification, whether that's a ladder match, TLC, but no, there's 3 matches with no stip. And in this match, I assume Apollo Crews retains. So next up, we do have the SmackDown Women's title on the line. Bayley will be defending as Nikki Cross. Again, no stipulation added to this match. And do I really even have to say it? Bayley. Going to remain Bayley Dose Straps. Going forward with the Going forward with the Raw Women's Championship on the line. We do see Asuka defending against Sasha Banks. And unfortunately, I don't think we're getting... What does Bayley call her? Sasha... 2 straps? Sasha something straps. I don't think we're getting that. I think Asuka retains. And then moves on to defending against Kairi Sane, possibly at SummerSlam. So I'm going with Asuka in the Raw Women's Championship match. Next up, in an eye for an eye match, where the only way to win is to extract the eye of your opponent. You got Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins. And this is a tough one, to be honest. But I think it's easier for them to have Seth win and pull out Ray's eye. Also, Airwengelines, I think I said that in the chat, says it's 2 belts Banks. I was way off. But yeah, 2 belts Banks. But I think Seth is going to defeat Rey Mysterio on Sunday. Next up, in a Wyatt Swamp fight without the Universal Championship on the line, you got Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman. Because the Universal title is not on the line, I'm going Bray Wyatt. I think Bray Wyatt wins. Maybe The Fiend returns at the end or something. And then we get The Fiend versus Braun for the title at SummerSlam. That's what I'm predicting. And finally, with the WWE Championship on the line, Drew McIntyre defending against Dolph Ziggler. Now here's the thing. Dolph stated this is going to be a match that you've never seen before. Yet, an advertisement on Facebook from WWE themselves lists this match as a TLC match. Tables, ladders, and chairs, which I think could be really good. Dolph's always been great in ladder matches. Drew can basically do anything. Like I say, Drew McIntyre is the blueprint when you want to... I've said it for a while. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre are the idealistic pro wrestlers. Look, ability, everything. And I say Drew retains. I mean, who the fuck thinks Dolph is actually going to win the title? I mean, The Rock said on social media that he thinks Dolph should be WWE champion. But I'm going Drew. Drew McIntyre successfully retains his title this coming Sunday at Extreme Rules. So with that, that's going to do it for my Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Can we call it a pay-per-view like I asked earlier? Can we call it a pay-per-view? Since they're not technically on pay-per-view. But that's going to do it for my Extreme Rules stipulations. Or not stipulations. I'm all kinds of jumbled up right now. That's going to do it for my Extreme Rules predictions. Again, we will be live right here on twitch.tv/PWUnlimited after Extreme Rules for the Extreme Rules review show. Now with that, let's get to your text messages. We got this text message here. Person says, is Braun vs. Roman still going to happen at SummerSlam? And what will happen to Dominic if Ray leaves WWE after Sunday? Well, Braun vs. Strowman, I don't know where you got that from, because that was never in the cards for SummerSlam. Because they're not factoring Roman into anything until he says, hey, I'll come back. So they're not even thinking that far down the line. This person says, where has Otis, Mandy, and Tucker been? And also, if Braun Strowman loses at Extreme Rules, do you think he will join Bray Wyatt? Also, do you think Eric Rowan will return during the Swamp fight and help either Strowman or Wyatt? No, I don't think Rowan's returning. Excuse me. I don't think Rowan's returning. No, as I stated, he's not joining Bray. He's going to be challenged by The Fiend at SummerSlam for the title. And Otis, Mandy, and Tucker. That's a tough one. So all I'm going to say is Lana has been around a lot of people that tested positive for COVID. Lana also went on a boat trip with Mandy and Liv Morgan. Mandy has been around Otis, doing vignettes and stuff, who's been around Tucker. That's all I got to say. This person says, is the bar fight happening on Sunday? No, as we stated, it looks like it's happening next Friday. This person says, I'm actually excited for the Swamp fight tonight. Well, it's not tonight, it's Sunday. Person here says, hey, Tim, do you think Braun and Bray going to put a great match Sunday night? I have no clue. And that's something I can't even try to predict if I think it's going to be good, because I have no clue what it is. I have no clue how this match is going to go. I have no clue how this match is going to be formatted, how it's going to be filmed, or any of that. So I can't say if it's going to be good or not. I can just say that it's going to be interesting. And I'm interested to see not how the match itself goes, but how it's filmed. Because for me, as a film guy, as a film editor, as a filmmaker, I love seeing stuff like this done and trying to break it down, going, ooh, I like how they shot that, or ooh, I like how that was done, or this and that. That's what I'm most excited about for this match, to be honest. And finally, this text message here says, well, they asked if I'm going to do Extreme Rules predictions, and I did Extreme Rules predictions, like, not long after this text came in. So yeah, I did Extreme Rules predictions throughout the back half of this podcast. But with that, guys, that's going to do it for tonight's Friday Night Smackdown review. Again, I want to say thank you guys for joining us here live on twitch.tv/PWUnlimited. Again, I got to say thank you to everybody that has migrated over here to Twitch with us. I really, really, really do appreciate that. I want to say thank you to everybody who has supported us over here in the move to Twitch. I think by the end of the weekend, our Twitch will be certified as an affiliate level Twitch. That way you guys can subscribe and support us, give us those bits and everything right here, twitch.tv/PWUnlimited. Because once we can get them bits, I've got some things that I actually want to do. I want to do some fundraisers and stuff and raise some money for good causes. And doing it here on Twitch during our live streams is a really cool and interactive way to do so. So I've got some things planned for once we can do some more here on Twitch. And we'll see how it all does go once we hit that affiliate level. Like I stated, we've only got to stream for a couple of more hours to get us to that level. And then we'll see how it all does go. But with that, thank you guys for joining me here tonight to talk about Friday Night Smackdown.